What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Rogue Company video, and I hope you're all enjoying this wonderful day. In today's video, I wanted to give you all my personal top 5 tips and tricks that'll help you a ton when playing our newest Rogue Switchblade. I want to get these done as fast as possible and get you back to playing Rogue Company, so let's begin. Personally, I've been playing Switchblade almost religiously since she came out, and I can say she's amazing and fun, but I can also say that there is a skill factor with her that through my time playing, I've had to learn and adjust to, and these adjustments are what is going to be making up these top 5 tips that I'm going to help you with. Our very first tip is that you need to learn how to use her Chaos Launcher ability. This may take time, and it isn't something that you can just do right away in your first few set of games with her, so don't stress it if you're not getting a ton of kills with her at first. Now, it is important to know that this ability has 2 types of damage, being impact and splash. When you're firing your rocket, if it directly impacts an enemy, it will deal 75 damage to them. Then afterwards, napalm will drop in the surrounding area, dealing a splash damage. There's a ton of different ways you can use these different mechanics. You can use it to offensively push enemies who may be on a point which you need to take over, or you can use it defensively if you know enemies are grouped up in a certain area and are about to push you. But one thing I do suggest when using it is that you must be able to shoot at the enemies afterwards. The napalm, which covers an area after impact, can easily be ran away from or rolled away from, which enemies will do. This is when you're going to need to pull out your weapon and fire at them. If not, you've just wasted your ability. Tip number 2 is going to be her passive ability, Fight and Flight. Whenever she uses a gadget or her Chaos Launcher ability, she gains an increased movement speed, and this ability can be used in many ways. Let's say you're playing King of the Hill and need that speed to quickly return to the hill after you've died. You can sacrifice your gadget by throwing it to briefly get that movement speed increase, which will help you return to the hill faster and secure more points for your team. This is just one example though. You can use it to push enemies by flashing them with a flashbang and then using that movement speed to quickly push them while they're blind and finishing them off. Tip number 3 is utilizing her high damage playstyle to finish off rounds and win games. This is almost a mesh of our previous 2 tips, but you need to utilize that Chaos Launcher damage and your passive ability afterwards to quickly pick off enemies and end rounds. As we all know, she is classified as a breacher, which means she has to use her kit to push in and get kills. Using her abilities mixed with either her bounce grenade or flashbang allows you to make enemies uncomfortable, scramble around, and this is when you come in and pick them off. Tip number 4 is going to be properly picking and using her weapons. She possesses the MLX Mark IV assault rifle as well as the 24S SMG. They're both very different weapons which warrant different playstyles. The Mark IV is one of the most solid weapons in the game and can be used into the more long to mid-range engagements, those kind of fights. On the other hand, her 24S can be utilized better in those close to mid-range engagements, and you should pick your weapon according to your personal playstyle as well as what rogues your team is picking. If you have a Lancer, there is no real reason you should be picking the 24S, and if you have a Phantom or Fixer and you think they have the capability to sit back and pick off enemies, there is no real need to pick the Mark IV. Our very final tip, and probably my favorite, is picking her perks correctly, and I've said this since she came out. She has one of the best perk lineups in the game. Now, choosing her perks can differ between game modes, which, there's non-respawn game modes like Demolition and respawn game modes like Strikeout, and the non-respawn modes, I generally go with Tenacity and Bounce Back as my first purchases. These are going to help keep you alive throughout the rounds, which will in turn help you win more rounds. For modes where you are respawning, go for Life Drain and Replenish. Having your health regen fast and your weapon automatically reload while enemies are constantly pushing you is a must, and once again will help you keep you alive in those hectic situations, which will help you win the rounds. These are my top 5 tips and tricks which will help you while playing Switchblade, no matter what skill level you're on. If you did feel as if I missed out on some tips though, feel free to leave them down in the comments to help me as well as everyone else. If you did enjoy the video or found it useful, help me out by leaving a like rating, hitting that subscribe button for daily Rogue Company content, and comment down below your thoughts on Switchblade so far. Personally, I love using her and she's a blast. Thank you for watching my video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.